Hi Stampers, this is Super Awesome Stamper Shirley Marker. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator from Sun Prairie, Wisconsin, USA. In this video, I'm going to be showing you how to create these bag toppers. These bag toppers were included in your kits for the Up North Stamp-A-Stack. So let's get started. Find the Night of Navy and the Rich Raspberry large pieces. They measure 4 by 7. And then get out your scoring tool or however you score cards and score it at 2 inches horizontally. Okay, and then we're done with your scoring tool. So just set that aside. Next, we'll assemble one at once. So let's do the blue one first. So if you look closely, I've embossed it, but the embossing folder does not fit totally on one pass. So you could certainly cut down your tag topper and make it a little smaller, although it will just barely fit over your bag if you do that. So what I did instead was I ran it through twice. So this side I've run through once, and then I will run it through another time, meeting up the edge where I've embossed it. So I'll be right back. I've embossed the other half, and there's a little crease in the center, but nobody's gonna know that I did that. And that's the embossing folder that's part of the Snowflake Splendor suite. All right, so next step would be to fold this in half. And I would grab your bone folder. All right, now we're gonna set this one aside because I gotta bring the Stamparatus in for that one. We're gonna pull in the Rich Raspberry one, which is the one I'm set up to assemble first. So bone fold that one down. Then find your packet that's got this strip of pattern paper. This is the strip that was left after I cut down your patterns for this card. So there was a strip left in the top, and I think I just cut it in half. So instead of throwing it into our scrap pile, we are going to decorate our tag topper. Okay, and then from your length of ribbon, all I did was go back and forth. So no set length. If you don't want to go back and forth a couple of times and just want to do it once back and forth, that's totally fine. And then I am going to snip it off because this ribbon is pretty stiff. There, so I'm not struggling against it. And then I'm going to grab my tear and tape and rip a strip off. Actually, let that go. There we go. So back and forth and back and forth. And for those that do want a measurement, this is a little less than 12 inches. Otherwise, just a 4-inch strip would work as well, just for one loop, just like I did on the cards. Okay, and then pull that backer sheet off on that tear and tape. Set this aside, and then we're going to stamp your tag. Oops, sorry about that. Sometimes my ink pads squeak a little bit, and that's because my house is getting a little dry. All right, and then just stamp some snowflakes on the top and the bottom. There. Okay, I'm going to shut that up. So see, the shutting doesn't squeak as much as the opening. I think I grip it a little tight when I open it. And then just place that over where you have your tear and tape. So that's the first tag topper. And you can certainly emboss that with snowflakes. I guess I should have done that to give you a little bit of contrast, but you do what you would like to do with the Rich Raspberry topper. All right, so pull back in your Night of Navy topper. And then I am going to pull my Stamparatus in. So if you've loaded up your Stamparatus and have it all loaded, you can use it to stamp your little tag sentiment. So those are extra snowflakes. So all I'm going to do is kind of eyeball this where that sentiment is. About there is good. All right, so I messed up a little bit. I deleted that out of the video. I had my magnet over on this side and it was touching the snowflakes, and that didn't allow me a great opportunity to stamp on my white. There. So let's ink this up. And I think I have to stand up and press down. My angle, trying to get around the camera, doesn't seem to be very good when I'm working with the Stamparatus. Press down that right there. There. Okay. So that looks good right there. Now, before I zip the Stamparatus out of the way, I'm going to pull in my topper that I created that's in the tutorial. I stamped the snowflakes and then cut them out with a die cut. So if you don't want to do that fussy cutting with the die cut, what you can do is just take your white snowflakes, and if you don't care where your snowflakes patterns are, like if they don't line up totally, although this might just work. What I'm going for is just getting some snowflake-ish like imprint on my white. I'm not going to be totally concerned that I'm lining up all of the snowflake points. Looks fine to me. Okay. And you could do, if you didn't like that, maybe swap them out and fill in. So these are the bottom ones. Sorry, I think I just went a little crazy with my pounding. So you're making snowflakes that are no two will ever be alike. There, I like that. Okay. All right, so we're gonna put these on my mat. Get the Stamparatus out of the way. Then we're gonna bring this in and we're gonna finish assembling. All right, so all I did with this square of Designer Series paper is fold it in half and then put some adhesive on one side, score up, fold up your native navy, line up the edge of the score on your pattern paper with the edge of the score on the native navy, press down on this side, and then wrap it around. I wouldn't attach it flat because you need a little bit of give. I don't know if you can see that or not. You need a little bit of give there, a little bit of mountain in order for it to wrap down on your bag. Okay, so since this is a tag topper, we're not going to mail this. We are going to use our dimensionals and pop them up. And I am going to use the big dimensionals. And actually, no, I'm going to use the small ones. I see I used the small ones on my card. That way we won't see them. And we will hide that one behind a jewel. See, I got to poke those little chads out. A few of them fell out, but a few didn't. And then put one right there. All right, bring in your stamp sentiment. Now, I'm not sure exactly what size I gave you. I think I gave you this long piece in your kit. That way you could cut it down if you wanted to, or you could keep it whole. And I think I might keep it whole. Yeah, I think I kind of like that. And you can see where I did my first take with the Stamparatus and it didn't perform like I wanted it to. What happened was I put the magnet on the right side of the paper instead of the left. And so when I pulled everything up, I pulled the paper up and smeared my stamp. Okay. So how about we put this one off? It's going to hang off the card, hang off the topper. And this one's going to be tucked in between there. And then this one will be over here. And then I've got pull in your gems. Your gems, if you have some rhinestones in your stash, of course I like these gems. And we're going to use the dark blue ones. Again, since this is not going to be mailed, we can go ahead and make everything as thick as we want it. So that gem also covers up the dimensional. Even though we use the minis, you can still see them through the snowflake, but the gem perfectly covers that up. Awesome. So pretty. I love creating with the snowflakes. I don't really like the snow, but I like to look at it, but I don't like to be out in it. All right, so my sample card and then what I created with you. So these just fit right over those cello bags that we included all of your supplies in. And we do sell these there, the 6x8 cello bags. All right, if you're watching on replay, hope you got all my tips and tricks. If you're watching later on YouTube and you didn't reach on retreat, hopefully you'll join us for a future retreat. All details for future retreats will be on my blog at superawesomestamper.com. In addition, you can order these kits and I will mail them to you promptly. Contact Elizabeth if you live in Canada, or if you live in the United States, you can contact me and I can help you get a kit or place your order. All right, let's meet back in the Zoom room and see how you're doing with your tag toppers. This is Super Awesome Stamper Shirley. Bye.